I'll be going through the answers quickly, so make sure your course book is open and in front of you, and please stop and rewind the video as you need to. So, got your book open in front of you? Are your answers in capitals? Want to know why the answers are the answers? Then let's go. For question number 1, we have to choose the preposition which works with the expression that follows. What is it that we do a regular basis or irregular basis? Well, we do things on a regular basis or on an irregular basis. So here the answer is on. Question number 2, keyword here is able. Able is a quasi-modal and it talks about ability. You can do something, you are able to do something, but the key thing with able is the verb form that you need to use with able. In other words, a form of be. So what we need here is a form of be which fits the language pattern and the context that the text is trying to communicate. And if we think about that, then we realize that we need the continuous form. So the answer here is being. For question number 3, if we have a look at right at the end of the sentence, we can see that there is a question mark, which tells us that there must be a question word. And we can quickly work out that what we need in this gap is the question word. Now, the question word we need is determined by what it is that we are questioning, or what is the basis of the question. And if we have a look at the context, we are basically trying to work out or explain people's activities. And in order to explain something, you need the question word why. And that's why is the answer in this case. For question number 4, the key thing here is the activities mentioned in the sentence before, in the question word. Because it says here, why else would anyone want to spend hours in the wind and rain standing waist high in water in the hope of catching a fish? Now, the word that we need for has got to refer back to the activity in particular of catching a fish, which means that we need a verb, an auxiliary verb, to refer back to this activity. So, is the answer going to be make, or is the answer going to be do? Well, in this case, the answer is going to be a form of the verb do, and in this particular case, the answer is did. In water in the hope of catching a fish. If they did catch a fish, ... Question 5, just before the gap, we've got an amount of people, in this particular case, anglers. So you've got the expression 98%. Whenever you've got a percentage, you're always going to need the preposition of, and that's why of is the answer here. 98% of all anglers. Now, if we bear in mind that sentence with question number 5 and how it works with question number 6, with the sentence in which question number 6 is part of, or the beginning of, we have to work out what that relationship is between the two sentences. It says here 98% of anglers are male. And in the next sentence, it then says the environmental agency tried to make a decision to attract more female participants to the sport. So we're beginning to suggest some element of contrast, or contrast in approach, contrast in aim, which means that we need a linker, because it has to be a linker given the language patterns, given the sentence patterns that we've got, that communicates contrast. There's one classic example which always talks about contrast, and that word is however, and that's exactly what we need here. Question number 7, easy peasy. All we need here is a preposition which collocates with success or to succeed, and the answer is of course in. You succeed in doing something. For question number 8, it's another vocabulary question in which we need the preposition to work with the language which follows the gap. You need the preposition that goes an effective way. Well, you do things in an effective way, or you do things in an ineffective way. So here the preposition that we need with way is in a certain way.